This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hello, you are listening to Agony Rants. I'm Niamh Kavanagh.
And I'm Gearóid. Welcome to our show. So why are we here, Niamh?
Well, what we want to offer on this show is what we all need at the moment, and that's unquestioning support from two of the biggest champions anyone can have in their lives.
Their mammy and their gay best friend.
Woohoo! Now, Gearóid, we have to say before we start that we've known each other for a very long time.
We have, yeah. I think that we've had a journey, Niamh.
So, yes, we've had a journey. The very first time I saw you, you were standing on the steps of where I lived in Willow Park.
Willow Park Grove.
Back in the day.
Round the corner.
I can say that now because I don't live there anymore. So, and no one belonged to me lives there. So basically,
there's just some random people living in that house.
Random people living in that house. So basically, the door opened and there you were. And luckily, somebody was able to get your name out of you because, quite frankly, you didn't speak to me anytime you came to see me.
No, you see, you were the local neighbourhood Eurovision winner, and I just felt we should be friends.
I know.
So
and every neighbourhood should have a local Eurovision winner.
100%. And I felt that at the time, I was like, well, we should just definitely be friends. And I didn't feel that you were seeking me out. So I was like, just impose yourself, Gearóid. That's the way good friendships work.
Well, it's true. But, if you'd vocalised that on the steps, that would have been good, because, we must point out there is a little bit of an age difference here, I mean, how old were you in 93?
Niamh was 25 and I think I was probably 2. I think I was 2.
Okay.
Just from a point of view of, like, I suppose my career as a comedian, like, I'm putting it around, I'm 30.
Yeah, okay. So Wikipedia says... That's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I was probably 14.
Okay, you were about 14.
Yeah.
Okay. And interesting enough, the reason we developed our friendship was more through your letters originally. Because you sent me a lot of letters.
Why are you like this?
Because
why would you do this?
I do still have them in a box. I want to be very clear about
right.
that.
Just can you give me the location of that box?
Never. That is my, I'm going to be looked after in a home when I'm old, insurance policy.
Well, I do have somewhere definitely in my box of, like, pen pal letters. I do have a postcard from Nashville.
Oh, yes.
From when, and it says, "To Gearóid, I'm here in Nashville recording my album. So you can't get me. Best wishes, Niamh Kavanagh."
Yeah, I was always very... Were all my responses quite as warm as that?
They were warm. They were always quite... They were warm in a, like, I wish you would stop this sort of way.
Well, no, it was just like it was a fan thing originally, let's be honest. I mean, we know each other that long and you were quite young. So
and in your eyes, it's irresistible.
Irresistible, of
course.
Irresistible. And, I think I didn't know what was ahead of me to become that national treasure that I was going to come. But I think as the years went on and you wrote to me about your girlfriends, I'm going to put them in inverted commas.
This
because
is an attack on the whole community.
No, it really isn't. It was, you wrote about your girlfriends and in my heart of hearts, I was waiting for you to come out. I'm not going to lie.
I do remember a moment sitting on your step where I was...
Was I there?
I was talking about like my girlfriend at school, and I was like,
yeah,
you were like, you're not feeling it, are you not?
I know, but I think I helped you through that in the sense that I didn't try to push you through that phase of your life. I just supported you into the next thing.
At no point did you push my face against the window of heterosexuality.
No.
And I thank you for that.
I know. Well, it's not my job. I think everybody has their journey, and your journey led me to be your friend when you really, especially when you started moving into the world of comedy, which I knew you were already there, to be fair. There's no way, no friend of mine can possibly be my best or close friend unless they have an element of comedy in them, because I am so wicked in myself.
You do have a very underused eye roll that I always appreciate. Yeah. And it doesn't come out that often, but when it comes out, I was like, I know where we are.
Yeah, I use
I
my
know where we
inside
are.
voice a lot. I'm not going to lie. I do. But actually, I genuinely like people. And I think that's what I like about you. You genuinely like people.
Yeah.
And we see the humour in situations without actually wanting to hurt people in that situation.
Well, I
Although-
wouldn't say that. That's,
Okay.
that's a lot of us. I
Okay.
mean, I think you're projecting a lot of your own kindness there, Niamh. I think that you're in a weird position because you can't get away with that now.
No, as a
Because
national treasure.
You're very earnest. Like, you have to be very earnest with people. Like, because they tell you their stories.
Oh,
about,
I have a tell me face. There's no doubt about it.
It's like, oh, yeah, I want to hear this.
Yeah,
definitely.
always,
And
always.
who were you watching the Eurovision with in 25 years? Yeah, oh, wonderful. Great.
that's
Can you
lovely.
get her on the phone? I'd love to speak to her.
Yeah, and I'm way too polite. Anybody who knows me will tell you that I am way too polite because part of me actually wants to hear the end of the story. You know,
I know. Yeah, you see, you have that. Yeah, I think that's just an inner kindness that you have.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'd be less tolerant about that stuff.
But that kind of
Like,
works for us.
they're
yeah.
telling you stories about, Eurovision and what the song means to them. And I tend to be like, we're at the cinema.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But
You have till I get the popcorn.
Yeah,
And then you're getting the bums rush, mate.
so I think it's true to say that our friendship is built on many things, but one of them is huddling together against
Yeah,
the madness.
huddling together and talking through gritted teeth.
There's an element to that. So friendship is wide and varied for us, but also just has survived so much through the years.
Against all odds, Niamh.
All us. I mean, to be fair, the main thing that I was hopeful for was that we would work together. I don't know how many years we're talking about this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've tried. Like, have we tried? I don't
Yeah.
know if we tried. We did.
No, you kidnapped me once. You
We
remember
did.
you pretended to kidnap me for a comedy show in Newbridge. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was doing a show in Newbridge and I remember not being 100% confident that I was like, we need a gimmick here. What do I have? And I thought, I'll get Niamh to do In Your Eyes. I mean, nobody can resist In Your Eyes. But the weirdest thing about that show was afterwards, I got a tweet from somebody that was in the audience that had left to go to the toilet
You were clearly keeping them
10 minutes before the end.
Uh-huh.
And he was saying that his partner was trying to convince him that when he went to the toilet, just at the end of the comedy show, Niamh Kavanagh came out and sang In Your Eyes. And apparently he was the world's biggest Eurovision fan. And then the show ended and it was by the time he came back from the loo, the show was over. And he wanted to check in on Twitter to see if this had genuinely happened because he was taking it very badly.
Okay. Well, I just want to say for the record, first of all, I'm concerned about that boy's bladder. That's a big thing.
The other thing I think is important is I was clearly doing really, really well. Like, that'll tell you what my finale was like. If
It was-
if someone thought, I need to go to I'm not sure I could take much more of this.
So anyway, we decided we would meet halfway, and so I drove 2 hours here, and
I walked for 5 minutes.
yeah, so it tells you everything about our relationship right there.
Absolutely. Niamh puts in the work and I just show up last minute.
The perspective that we're going for on Agony Rants is important because Agony Rants is about pet peeves. It's about things that have happened, and sometimes you need perspective from the people who might be in your life.
And we're here to offer the just unwavering support. I mean,
Unwavering.
you don't have to come out well out of the story.
No.
We're already on your side.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
just give us the facts and we will support you for who you are.
Really, do we have to support everybody? What if I, because I'm
I mean, we
very
can
practical.
judge. We can judge privately. We never had a problem with
Inside voice for the judging.
Inside
Okay.
voice.
So, the thing about it is I'm very practical, I would say. You definitely always have the eye roll. Yes. Your perspective is often very funny and whatever.
Sledgehammer. Is the word
Sledgehammer.
you're fumbling
You're
for
a little
there.
blunt. I'm not going to lie. You're a little blunt. But, I'm very pragmatic. I always try and think of the other person and why they would be. I want to know why they do these things.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of empathy,
Yeah. Do you
which
think?
I think is a big weakness. I think empathy, I think that's how a lot of people
Take
I think
advantage
that-
of me? Is
yeah.
it?
I think that's why you end up doing some of the things you do. It's like, oh, of
Yes.
course.
I know.
Of course I'll do that.
You're right. You are so right. You know that the time I went abseiling down the front of the Europa, it was all about the fact that I didn't have to do it. I was only there to help, advertise it in the press and do the press work. And 5 minutes in the door, I said, "Yes, of course I'll abseil down the front.
Abseil down the
I
side.
can't help myself."
I remember seeing you hanging off the Europa Hotel on
Yeah.
a winch holding a Domino's pizza.
Yeah, that
and I remember
sounds about
thinking,
right.
she needs to get an agent. Because this shit can't keep happening. Like, she's going to be killed. Do you have any perks?
Perks of being a Eurovision winner?
Yeah, like, I mean, is it like free parking or? Is there...
No. Well, I got the keys to Dublin apparently back in a civic ceremony back in '93. Because I know currently there are a lot of young people who don't know who I am or how important I once was.
Do you know who she used to be?
I used to be somebody amazing. I mean, now it's just, is it Blonde or is it Niamh Kavanagh? That's it, really, or Maureen
And when you
O'Hara.
get those keys, like, I mean, parking's expensive.
Yeah,
like, do you
I
still
know.
have those keys?
Yeah, I don't think they know that I have those keys. You know what I mean? To be honest, it wasn't a physical key, which is disappointing, But
you see, at the ceremony, you were probably very gracious, whereas I would have locked that down.
yeah,
I was like,
you'd have had a contract.
How do I tell a traffic warden that I that I can park here?
I'll be honest with you, if you get recognised, yes, it can work out very much to my favour. I was literally having a cup of coffee before I came here, and interestingly enough, I was approached by a butcher from down the road, from Corrigan's and from Condra. Right, I'm going to say this now blatantly, and asked me to come down and have a photograph taken so that they could put it up on their celebrity wall. And they gave me a load of meat. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to lie. So I have a boot full of meat.
Did that
now.
happen?
And then I had to go and buy frozen peas because I don't want the meat to go off before I drive back to Carrickfergus. Yeah, that actually happened. You didn't know that, but
So
I now have a boot full of.
So it's 18 degrees, Niamh.
I know.
And in the boot of your car for a 2-hour drive, you got a load of meat. That's a hate crime.
That is a hate crime. No, but I have it absolutely packed in with frozen peas, which probably cost me as much as maybe 2 of the burgers they gave me. But anyway, I just think.
So your photograph is up in a Butcher's.
Well, not yet, but
you're
it will
literally
be.
Imelda May.
I know. I
the most
literally
Imelda
am.
May move I've ever heard.
Thank you. But I've been invited up to the cockpit for flying, for takeoff and landing. I did an entire flight in the cockpit, which is unusual apparently. That was Jan Leeming's husband apparently, and then I got to drive a digger one time. I think I was invited to a welly throwing competition. I also got to judge the best cow. There's many things. There's many things.
Never did you realise when you stood on the stage in Mill Street in front of 300 million people, hitting the high notes of the bridge, that one day you could be at a welly throwing contest.
I didn't go, unfortunately.
It's the dream.
It is the dream. There are so many opportunities. You just have to reach out and take them. You
have an unnerving calmness about you. While I can be a bit blunt, I think also I do worry. Like, I worry about everything.
Yeah, you do.
And I've always noticed that with you, even with like shows and stuff that I would go with you to, that you have this like, yeah, I'll be ready in a minute. Yeah, it's grand.
Deep breathing.
Snow. I mean, I do remember one time walking through RTE. And you were about to do the Late Late Show and you had a microphone in your hand and they were literally walking you out, and then you said, "What's the first line of the second verse?" And I said, "Love's been building bridges, Niamh." Yeah. Like, don't have me worry about you.
Well, it's kind of a funny thing. I guess it's because when I was very young, I was an incredibly dramatic child. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was the level of drama being in my life. My whole family, my sisters, my mother and father will tell you I was dramatic.
Really?
Yes. But I think either I got all my drama out by the time I was about 18 or 19, or I actually found an outlet so that because I gig, I have no need for drama in my private life. And so actually I've learned that calm is the way to go for me. But the one big thing, another really big thing actually, I get nervous after. So
really?
I'm like a muppet afterwards. I'm like sailing across the sea of loveliness beforehand. And then afterwards, the energy, I don't know if it's the adrenaline rush or something, I just lose my bap afterwards. I'm like, oh my God, wasn't it really lovely? Oh, if you ever see me after something, the energy rush that I get tends to be full of that kind of, I need self-affirmation here. But
Really?
mhm.
Because I've never even noticed anything like needy about you. I mean, I've just noticed, like with me, I'm like, I have.
I'm a performer. I'm needy. I'm not going to lie. But I'm a little bit more assured at this stage of my life that, I will get it.
Like, I lose the will to live on the day of the show. Like, I cannot cope. Like, I remember when I lived with one of my friends, I used to have so much nervous energy before a show that I used to clean, but he would do nothing. Like,
'Cause
the
he knew.
place would be a tip because he would knew that I would like clean the tiles, I would hoover, I would, just because I had to get that energy out on the day of a show.
So I have a question.
Go on.
Do you still feel the need to do that?
Yeah.
Because I tell you, I would book you for a show to think that you would come home and clean my house, right? Because I don't know about you, but in the last year, because nobody's been coming to my house, I'm just going to tell you, the bit that's cleaning my house is the bit that people see on a Zoom. Over these podcasts that we're going to do together, I think people will discover a lot about our lives, but also our friendship and our approach to it, whether we like it or not. But I think you put a shout. We kind of
never work again.
no. In preparation for Agony Rants, we put a shout out on Instagram to see, or on social media to see if people would send us in their comments about friendship. Because
Yes.
it seemed like a sensible thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, we've been friends for a very long time.
Long time.
And I don't know that everybody has those long friends. Because people tend to change. Like, they have school friends, then they have work friends.
Yeah.
People drop each other. And I never dropped you, Niamh.
No, you didn't.
And you
because
tried many times to drop me, but I
could
hung in there.
not shake you. Could not shake you in any way. No, it's funny actually. I have a lot of friends, but I have only so few really close friends. And your really close friends are the ones who go through all the boxes of your life. I think that's a big thing about friendship. Some people are friends within a space, so they're friends with you when you're in work, and you're always glad to see them. And I'm always really delighted to see these people. But there are only so many people who go across all of the boxes of your life, the people who can inhabit any space in it, and I think they're precious. And actually, I have very few in the performing world, funnily enough. As weird as that sounds.
It's jealousy, Niamh.
Yes, I think a lot of my really close friends are not in that world, but you are. I mean, I always feel I'm pretty much myself, but you have to be something slightly different when you're in that world. And so in a way, it's really lovely to be yourself with someone and not have to worry about it. I think that's a really big thing, and that's where your real friends come across. If they go across your life, then they're really your friends.
So what we did was we did a little shout out on Instagram yesterday because we said that we weren't really sure what we were going to talk about on the first podcast because we were just like, what are we talking about? What's the show? We were trying to get it defined. And we thought, well, what we could do is we could actually hear your stories about long friendship. And a lot of people got in touch about of the friends that mean lots to them. And we've picked out some of the best ones and some of the most bizarre ones. And some of them were even too bizarre.
So what we're going to do is we're going to read out letters, and really over the period of these podcasts, we will put out headings. And what we would love is for you to send in a letter. I'm not saying that we're not here to give opinions to people on a serious way. Obviously, it would be nice to be helpful. But the truth is, I think sometimes you need to just get it out there, whatever it is you want. And I'm very wise as a mammy and a National Treasure, and also been like 100 years on this planet. That's what my perspective coming in here. And I am, Gearóid is right, I am genuinely quite a calm person.
A very even, balanced response is what you will get from Niamh.
Yes.
Whereas if you're looking for somebody to go around and put a wheelie bin through somebody's porch, I'm your man.
I keep him on the right side of the law. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you'll get mental health from Niamh. You'll get vengeance from me.
And that's all you ever need in life.
What else do you need? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You can listen to our wonderful podcast ad-free if you subscribe to Headstuff Plus over on headstuffpodcasts.com. So we got a letter from Miss Sparky Fox, who moved in randomly to a house share at 22 and met bestie Kira. This led to a quotation marks, a good, healthy, codependent friendship, close quotes. And Sparky Fox writes, we had lots of wild adventures, including a loose snake terrorising the back gardens of the house estate. We literally were going to put flour on the floor in the kitchen to make sure it didn't get in.
Flour? Oh my God.
I know. I'm terrified of them. Eventually, a neighbour caught it and kept it in the recycling bin till the animal rescue turned up. I came home from a night out to find Ciara in a ball gown, completely pissed and digging up the spare key. Who buries the spare key? Yeah,
like, get a plant.
I know. Sparky Fox goes on to say, another time I had an absolute meltdown shouting, WTF am I doing with this, it's a bad word, of a boyfriend, and burst in on her when she was in the shower. I love her to bits. I recently moved out to save for a house and I miss her so much. We plan to be back living together and when we are old, and the husbands have died off. I'm not going to lie, that last bit scares me.
There is a lot going on there. Like, first of all, okay, I mean, snakes, they're my thing. I can't handle a snake.
Oh, really?
I can't even handle a big worm.
I have a best friend who's actually afraid of worms. Completely.
On the pier of Venice Beach, saw a man with a snake wrapped around him, and it genuinely almost killed me. I actually thought I was going to die.
Really?
Yeah. It was just literally like I was having a heart attack. I was like, oh, there's a man with a snake. Oh, there's the heart attack I always thought I'd have. I am just terrified of snakes. And I really hope this wasn't in Ireland, Miss Sparky Fox. Please tell me it wasn't in Ireland. And also...
to put flour.
We literally were going to put flour on the kitchen floor.
So what kind of flour? Was that like corn flour, do you think?
Are snakes afraid of?
I don't know. Is it corn flour? Is it like self-raising? Maybe self-raising flour would maybe lift it off the floor. I don't know. Maybe this is referring to the fact that maybe that would show tracks of the snake. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Me personally, I think,
if there's anything worse than there being a snake in your kitchen, it's seeing evidence that there was a snake in your kitchen, but it's not there now.
How many times have you found evidence in your kitchen that there's been a snake in? Anyway.
She says eventually that a neighbour caught it and kept it in the recycling bin until the animal rescue turned up. I mean...
I quite like that concept, really, to be fair.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it sounds like you have a fabulous friendship because you can burst in on her in the shower screaming about your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she still keeps you around.
Yeah.
Well done. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with Ciara.
I think I am very impressed, actually, Ciara. The other style of it is the husband's dying off. I'm slightly concerned about that. I do worry. I have to say, I have two boys, who I love and are fantastic people. But the truth is, I worry that I'm going to end up in a home because, I don't think boys have the same guilt complex that girls have about looking after their parents. So,
they don't. They really don't.
The truth is, I am going into a home. I'm well aware of this, hence why I've kept your letters, just in case I end up in a home or a possibility of going into a home and I'm going to blackmail you to keep me out of it. But
boys are always putting their mother in a home.
Yeah.
But
girls are less likely.
All there is to play for is how good that home is going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're kind, generous to your boys, Niamh, you'll get a plush home. Yeah. If it's a fractious relationship, you're going in one of those ones that they make documentaries about.
I know, but the truth is, the level of sarcasm I give to my children, I suspect I'm in a very bad place. Living together when we're old, I sometimes have that conversation with some friends of mine about living in a house together, to make it more economical and more... I think one of the hardest things is when you get old, you get lonely. So maybe living with your best friends is good. But, my friend Mairead and we always agreed that it was best that we didn't live together.
I think it's bad. I don't think it's a good idea. I've lived with friends before and it's never
easy.
It's never worked out.
No. I mean, I'm very good friends with my husband. We are the best of friends. Anybody's ever seen us, they know that we have that banter. We have a great way about us. It has taken me 23 years to try and break him in, and it is not working out terribly well at some times. There's still moments of contention. I'm tutting terribly at lots of things, lately.
Yeah. See, I think that this year of living together, I think that when you are with somebody, you sign up to them for a max of 3 hours a day.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's 3 hours, and for an hour, maybe 2 hours of that, you're watching television.
Oh, yeah, exactly. A shared experience.
The idea of being in the same room. Like, that's prison. That's what prison is.
Yeah, except there's no toilet in the room.
Yeah.
Unless
I
it's a
mean,
really small apartment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've definitely had moments where I've been in the toilet and going, I'm going to stay here for another half an hour because if I don't, there's going to be a murder. There's going to be blood spilt in this apartment.
Yeah, I understand that.
And he's done the same. I'm no angel.
Really? That's surprising.
No, I behave like it.
Yeah. You can put a good front.
Yeah, I have a good front on,
Yeah.
but I have the self-awareness to know that I'm doing pretty well in this deal.
Miss Sparky Fox, you know, I absolutely love your friendship. I recognise your friendship. You need to be able, I think, in friendship to be able to speak about anything in any way possible.
I can't imagine shocking you.
No, there's not much that shocks me after. I joined the music industry at 18 years of age. I was in the back of a van with 7 men on a regular basis. But, you know,
Doesn't sound awful.
you and I, you know, basically they thought it was their job. Older musicians always thought it was their job to see how much they could shock this young one coming in. No, I don't think much shocks me. You know, I think some things surprise me. My inner eyebrow raises because I can't raise one on its own. It's a flaw.
You wouldn't be shocked, but there's certain things you don't want to have to deal with.
People overshare with me quite a lot, you know, because I will just sit there and take it. But inside I'm going, did I need to know that? Sometimes I wonder what it says about me as a person that they feel the need to share that with me, you know, especially if they're only just sitting beside me on a bus. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the phrase that you need in your life is "I'd like you to leave."
No, I need to practice using it.
I'd like. I mean, thank you for sharing that, but I'd like you to leave.
Yeah,
now.
thank you.
Yeah.
All my friends who survive friendship with me definitely bring that to the table. If they're not bringing a bit of crazy to me, I actually don't really. I don't stay engaged. That's the truth. I'm not saying you bring a lot of crazy to the, but you bring some crazy.
A little bit.
You bring a lot of humor to it, which is great. And if we're anywhere together, which I love when we're together somewhere and something occurs and we just see it. We just both see it. And I think that's the true sense of a good friend.
Yeah.
That you both see it without ever having to say it between each other. And then there's a moment where you look at each other.
I mean, we look at each other, and then what happens is I leave you to handle it and say, Niamh, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Because this is not for me.
That is tragically true. It is true. Okay, so Ciara and Sparky Fox, are they like friendship goals, do you think? Hashtag?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. And I love that your friendship has evolved because I think the way it was going, you're probably going to end up in prison.
Yeah.
But what's important is that you've already got plans for when the husbands die, which I think is...
Shady Pines is looking well for them.
Yeah,
you know, definitely.
absolutely.
You know, I suggest that you take the box set of Golden Girls and observe because that's where you're going, girls. Okay,
That's your future, and what a way to go.
What a way.
Next up is Ross. This is actually a kind of a cute friend story.
Okay, you go ahead.
In secondary school, a group of us commandeered a disused cloakroom and christened it the Maltesers Lounge because we ate a lot of them. Needless to say, we were the popular kids.
I think
there's not a lot in this, but there's also a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on there.
I'll be honest with you. I think I was probably an honorary member of the Maltesers Lounge because in school,
Maltesers?
I wasn't popular. Were you popular in school?
Oh.
I know,
Oh, God, no, I wasn't popular.
I didn't fit my skin till I was older. And, you know, if you think about it on paper, back in the day, it wasn't, you know, I sang Ave Maria at a lot of nuns' funerals. That was my raison d'etre.
Wherever 2 or 3 nuns gather in the name of a burial, Niamh was there with a song.
I really wasn't, I wasn't, they didn't hate me, but I just didn't fit the pack mentality you need in school. Or, you know, I wasn't interested in the same things as they were. And I just knew myself enough that I didn't fit it. And I used to...
School is awful, though.
Look, it is. It can be. Yeah, it can be.
I think it's shocking.
I think a lot of people like it. You know, sometimes it's some people, and I feel sorry for these people who haven't gone through a hard time in school in a way, because I think their hard adjustment comes after. I think sometimes if you're popular...
It's nice to know you suffer at any age.
Yeah, any age. I think it comes to us all at one point in their lives where they don't fit. And I think that's a shocker. It's more shocking when you're older. You know, it's hard to take when you're in your teens because there's so much going on, you know, hormonally, physically. But actually, I think it prepared me better for my life as I got older than it did if I'd been, you know, Miss Popular in school, because I think it's a shocker when you discover that not everybody likes you. That's a hard thing. And it comes to everybody in their lives, except the occasional person who needs to be sorted.
Yeah, and I've never liked.
And nobody ever really likes them.
No. Okay, so Rossi christened it the Maltesers Lounge. Maltesers to me were, I don't know if this is a growing up thing, but I always associate with Maltesers and flakes as sweets that were for women that were like dieting.
Okay.
They were sold. That's the way they were sold. I'm not wrong, am I?
Were they sold? I don't know if chocolate is
There was
ever
always-
sold to you.
Well, do you
Okay,
remember
Maltesers
your
with the
woman would
lighter
have,
side of
like,
life.
she would have like the Malteser and then she'd float up off a bed. Wasn't that the ad? Remember, that's The Exorcist.
What? Okay, so are we in the Maltesers Lounge with Ross or are we out with the popular kids?
I would have been in the Maltesers Lounge.
Yeah, me too.
I'd have been glad at the Maltesers Lounge, actually.
Yeah.
Well done, Ross.
I know. He
You were-
created a safe space.
He
You know,
created a
did.
safe space.
For so many.
Absolutely. In a school that I'd say he was beaten up and down.
For his Maltesers.
Yeah. But well done, you.
Oh,
Well
yeah.
done, Ross.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I definitely say
fan.
that's good.
Next up, now this one. Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
Next up is Claire.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we said we changed her name. We said we changed her name because... Okay, her name's Denise.
The names haven't always been changed.
Yeah, I must remember. Yeah, well, we'll know for future. I'll make that more
Okay,
clear.
come on.
In my 20s, I went through a very messy breakup with my fiance. We were childhood sweethearts. We made our communions together and we were together for 8 years. We owned our home jointly. Big mistake. So we ended up in court over it. I wanted to buy him out. He thought he would get 100 grand from me. All of our mutual friends promised to remain impartial. On the day we went to court, 3 of our closest friends arrived to court with him in capital letters. It has been 15 years and I haven't spoken to any of our friends in inverted commas since. It was devastating. Utter shithouses. One of them left me a message at the time saying that he really needed our support. I was there alone, FFS. But she goes on to say that she is now married and her husband thinks it's mad that she has no pictures, stories. He says it's like I was created in a lab in 2007 when we met. The whole thing was like being hit by a hurricane. I went through it completely alone. Family didn't get involved. I'm always suspicious. Always. See, that's the thing with breakups. You have to be. You always think that with a breakup, your family will row in on your side. My family absolutely wouldn't. She's saying that her family thought that their relationship was great and that they thought that the breakup was a big mistake.
Yeah, I think it's wrong because you never know how people are going to be in a relationship. You don't know how a relationship is until you're in it. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
You know,
like I mean,
and-
I come across as lovely, but I'm
I could say
real piece of work.
you are, and that's part of why I like you. Actually, some people like that kind of thing.
What a share of snakes.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Like
going to say,
I'm angry about that actually.
are you?
I mean, the idea that when people choose sides, like if you're mutual friends, you should. Like I did have that once years ago. I did.
Do tell.
No. I didn't. I've read that letter about 10 times, and I only just thought about this now. I did have a breakup years ago,
Okay.
where there were friends that said to me they weren't taking sides, and then clearly did.
Mm.
And
Well,
and I would like to say that I was the victim in that situation.
okay, and would you say right now that you're still friends with those people?
Yeah, I'm friends with one of them.
So you got past that?
Or maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah. I did get past it. Like I really accepted it, but there is still the part of me that goes,
What happened there?
yeah,
Whose
Oh.
friend are you really?
yeah, 100%.
There are always sides, and people will always land on it. Whether they'll actually voice it is another story. You know, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
You cannot not look at something and not have an opinion about it. You know,
Yeah,
You-
yeah. Actually, that's true. And
you
people
know-
are entitled to their opinions,
they are completely.
but if they're wrong, there's going to be consequences.
yeah, but
Yeah.
wrong and from whose perspective, right? You know, listen, I'm going to be the mammy here now. You got to play nice with your friends.
You're very fair.
Yeah, no, but it's true. And the thing is, you don't know their story. You're only hearing Denise's story from this side, or Claire, whatever her name is.
I'm 100% on her side.
You're 100% on her side, okay?
Claire Denise, or Denise. We have to beep all the Claires.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100% on her side.
Okay.
What
yeah.
an absolute shit show.
Okay,
To show
so
up to court and then 3 of your mates are with your ex.
the thing that bothers me most about this is that they weren't honest with her at the time.
Yeah. So wise.
Yeah,
So
you know, it's
wise.
true. That's the thing to be sad. And sometimes you got to look at that and go, well, you know, that's you have to accept that.
You're well read, Claire.
Well read.
Denise.
We are not good at this. So what are we taking away from Denise Claire's situation here? You know, I think as an Irish mammy, I just want to give you a big hug and tell you that you are worthy of friends, and friends should be fabulous.
I think you're well read. And I also want to say, Claire, Denise, this is not over. It's not over. You'll have your day.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for listening to Agony Rants. Now, I appreciate the fact that, you know, maybe we're still growing how this show is going to work. What do you think, Rod?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think straight away, give us all the awards. And if you would like to, if you liked what you hear, please do subscribe wherever you downloaded this and you won't miss an episode. We'll be out every week. And also, if you could leave us a lovely review on iTunes, that would help other people find us.
Yeah, that would be really important. And the thing is, you'll be contributing to our lives in many ways. And we would like to know if you have any issues.
Yes, get in touch. At the moment, we should get an email account. So if you want to get in touch, you can contact either of us on Instagram. Just send us a DM and we'll take it from there. And then we will fix your life.
Okay. That might be a strong way of saying that.
No,
but
I'm 100% competent.
Yeah. We will endeavour to give our opinions upon it. How about that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, sure, okay. Opinion.
You do you.
You do opinion, I do fact.
All right, my love.
Till next week.
Bye.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.